team just coming onto the pitch. Number 1, Duncan Platt. Number 2, Steve Robinson. 3, John Henderson. 4, Tony Anderson. 5, Richard Irving. Halfbacks are 6, Brett Clark, and 7, Mike Ford. 8 is Austin Donegan. 9 is Andy Duane. 10 is John Fieldhouse. 11 is Charlie McAllister. 12 is Keith Atkinson. 13 is John Richard Russell. Substitutes are 14, Des Foy, and 15, John Cogger. I'm just waiting for the Rovers team to come out onto the pitch. Number 1, Chris Bibb. Number 2, Martin Pearson. 3 is Terry Manning. 4, Ikram Butt. 5 is Owen Simpson. Halfbacks are 6, Ian Smales. 7, Derek Fox, the captain. Number 8, Jeff Creation. 9, Mark Gibbon. 10, Gary Rose. 11, Chris Burton. And 12, Clary Eaty. And 13, Brendan Toulter. Substitutes are 14, Trevor Clark. Number 15, Gary Price.
Corin and Lisa both attend George Street School, and their favourite player is Derek Fox.
There we are.
Gentlemen, the announcement that you've all been waiting for. Can I please have your attention? As you're probably aware, under international rules, all overseas players who are contracted to Australian clubs must return home from playing in England by the 1st of February. And as you know, at the start of this season, Kiwi looks forward Brendan took to join Rovers for a short stay from the western suburbs club in Sydney. I'm sure you will agree that Brendan has turned out to be one of the best overseas players ever to grace our club. We are very pleased, therefore, to be able to tell you that today will not be the last time that Brendan will appear in the colours. By the Rovers Management Committee over the past weeks, the sensational news is that the transfer of Brendan Toulter from Western Suburbs to Featherstone Rovers was yesterday completed. This now means that Brendan is our player and therefore will not be returning to Australia. He will be staying with us for the remainder of this season. In fact, signed a contract which will give him a post office role for a further 2 seasons after this. Brendan will now, on a half-time, Brendan will be welcomed officially to the club by our chairman, Eric Gardner.
This is the photographer, he's just going to get a photo of you, John.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Pete. So there we are, all the celebrities out of the way. As Terry Maloney just told you, Brendan Toulter, the Featherstone Rovers player for the next 2 seasons after this. After long negotiations with the Western Suburbs club in Australia, we finally negotiated Brendan Toulter's contract, so he's our player for the next 2 seasons after this. So that's good news for everybody concerned, from committee down to the playing staff, down to the coaches, down to the supporters, all the Featherstone Rovers. Now getting the game underway there. Number 1 there, Duncan Platt tapping that ball with his hand. And need I tell every supporter who's watching this video after this match that this is a real 4-pointer this here at Post Office Old Oldham, just lying below Featherstone Rovers in the table. Featherstone Rovers on 17 points. Both teams desperately needing 2 points from today's game, wanting to get this match won. So it's Brett Clark now to Charlie McAllister, trying to run through the middle, but Ian Smales there and Brendan Toulter there making the tackle on the big fellow. So it's Oldham there, big number 8 there, Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan through the gap, juggling with the ball. Chris Bibb there trying to get the tackle. And that's good running that by Austin Donegan, the big number 8. Pushing would-be tacklers out of the way there. Now it's Mike Ford with the ball now there to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt there to Charlie McAllister. Oh, and Charlie McAllister should have let that ball go, but that's good tackling that by Rovers. Jeff Grayson there making that crucial tackle. So it's Mike Ford with the ball there, pushing that ball through. And the ball there going touching dead. So that'll be a 25-yard tap. And just get me breath now. I've given you both the teams with that good news from Brendan Toulter. This game today, it's thanks to Terry Maloney, the Featherstone Rovers committee man, and Fred Levine, the groundsman, and all the helpers who's helped to try to get this game on today. They did cover this field last night, late hours last night, and the put sheeting over this ground. And that's a bad ball, that for Jeff Grayson to take that. Well, that's what a back pass, and that's a bad mistake by Rovers in the first few minutes of this crucial Stones Bitter Championship game. So Mark Foot feeds the scrum. It's out to Brett Clark. Brett Clark there, finding his centre there. John Henderson running strong. It's John Henderson. It's Tony Anderson playing in the number 4 shirt. Signed on from Halifax last season. Oh, it's Charlie McAllister now. Big New Zealand forward. So it's Brett Clark with the ball now there. Brett Clark there doing the run round there. This is good play. This to Keith Atkinson. That's a marvellous try to Oldham. Number 11 there. Charlie McAllister. It's Keith Atkinson, I should say, scores the try. Well worked try. But that coming from that mistake, that back pass there to Jeff Grayson, resulting in the scrum down. That's a marvellous start to Oldham. It's Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. And just looking down on the programme, that Charlie McAllister and Keith Atkinson have changed shirts round. Down on the programme it is Charlie McAllister number 11, but and Keith Atkinson number 12, but they've changed shirts round. 2 second row for, and this happens a lot in rugby league. Same with the centres, Tony Anderson and John Henderson. They've changed shirts, what the original teams what I did give you. Well, getting back to the play, that was a marvellous try by Oldham. Well worked move, run around move that time. So Duncan Platt, that's a flapper. Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. So Derek Fox getting this game started here. Oh, and that's play on now. Number 5 there, Richard Irving, touching the ball with his body, and he's lost the ball in the tackle. Rovers chance now. Chance in this Oldham 25-yard area. First touch of the ball, Terry Manning getting that ball now to Chris Burton. And Chris Burton there tackle about 10 yards short of the Oldham try line. Oh, that was a late decision there by Mr. Jim Smith from Halifax, the referee for today. Chris Burton knocking that ball on. The referee penalising the Rovers front 3, feet up at the scrum. So it's a penalty kick to Oldham. Rovers just been a bit starved of possession in this first quarter of the game. Oh, and that's a bad mistake. Owen Simpson taking that ball cleanly right on the touchline side. That's a shocking mistake there by Oldham. They're kicking that ball. They ought to make sure the ball goes out to play. So Gary Rose with the ball. It doesn't matter how much ground advantage you must make sure that the ball goes out to play in this game of rugby league. So Mark Gibbon now from acting half-back, taking the place of Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark just having an hamstring injury. Peter Fox decided to rest him, but in Mark Gibbon, Featherstone Rovers have got quite a very good deputy there, signed on from Doncaster. So it's Ian Smells the ball now there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there trying to float through the middle. Well, that's good tackling that by Brett Clark on Chris Bibb, straight down the bootlaces. Now Terry Manning there trying to go solo from acting half-back. That's good tackling by Oldham. Now it's Ian Smells with the ball now, back there. Trying to do the run around, but that's good tackling that by John Fieldhouse, the Oldham number 10. So Mark Gibbon with the ball now. Mark Gibbon there throwing that awkward wayward pass there. And number 12 there, Clarieti having to recover the ball, kicking the ball on. It's all on Duncan Platt underneath it. And Duncan Platt there getting to that ball, but Clarieti there following his own kick up there, makes the half the tackle. And Mark Gibbon just making sure. Now it's Oldham there trying to bring the ball out to their own 25-yard area. And this is bad news for Oldham. Already a player limping off the pitch. I just can't see who the player is. So it's Andrew Wayne there trying to get number 13 on a run there. And Featherstone got the ball, and Martin Pearson going for that try line, scores the try. Oh, that was a shocking mistake there by number 13, Richard Russell. Losing the ball in the tackle. And just looking down there at my programme, I just couldn't see who picked the ball up for Featherstone Rovers. All I could see was Martin Pearson going for that touchline side. cutting inside, Duncan Platt and planting that ball over the Oldham try line. Featherston Rovers 4, Oldham 4. And just look. And Peter O, the video cameraman, just told me that it was Ikram Butt who did pick the ball up. That's good play, that by Ikram Butt. But I'm sorry, Ikram, but I just didn't say that. I was just looking down at my programme. And just looking down, it is Keith Atkinson who's come off for Oldham, and John Cogger has come on, his deputy. So a back row forward for a back row forward, as they say in rugby league. John Cogger. So here we go, Martin Pearson trying to convert his own try. Strikes the ball. He's got the height, but he didn't have the direction. So the score is Featherston Rovers 4, Oldham 4. So here we go, Duncan Platt getting the game restarted. And there we go, here all of the first try there, Ikram Butt picking that loose ball up, giving his wingman a chance, and Ikram Butt there, like a jack in a box. Ikram Butt takes some stopping, powerful lad. So it's Chris Burton, he's trying to bring it out in his own 25-yard line, but Charlie McAllister there making the tackle. Trying to pinch the ball in the tackle, and John Fieldhouse also in the world with the tackle, so it's Derek Fox with the ball, Derek Fox there to Clary Eaty, that's good tackling though by number 13 there, Richard Russell. So it's Derek Fox there changing direction, coming back to Ian Spales. Ian Spales still there, Ian Spales on a flyer, Ian Spales still going, just couldn't get the ball there. Ikram Butt screaming for that ball, but Ian Spales there just had his ankle stabbed at the last second. So Jeff Grayson with the ball, turning ball back inside. Jeff Grayson, that two dummies there, he'll take the tackle with the big fella. Number 9 there, Andy Ruane. Down below making the tackle, so it's Mark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there looking for this touchline side, but Richard Irving there getting back for that ball. Taking his time, picks the ball up quite cleanly. Richard Irving there running across the face, and that's got tackling by, look at them Rovers players up there. That's got tackling by Rovers, Derek Fox and Mark Gibbon, and Brendan Toter involved. What a favourite he is at Post Office Road, Brendan Toter. And Brendan Toter also again involved with a tackle. That's got tackling by the Rovers, number 13, Brendan Toter. And once again Brendan Toter, but John Cogger out of tackles. And Ian Smells there, and Brendan Toter finally bring him down. Now the ball back there now to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister, that left foot kick downfield. Testing Chris Bibb out. And Chris Bibb there knocking the ball on. The ball there just bouncing awkwardly there, just as Chris Bibb were going to pick that ball up. As it is. A scrum down in 5-yard side. Rovers out for the field. Brett Cart with the ball now, spinning this ball out wide. Duncan Platt through the one. That's a forward pass. Surely you've got to come back for that. They were that far forward, it could have been offside. That pass. So it'll be Derek Fox to feed the scrum for Rovers. Out to Featherston Rovers this time. So it's Ian Smells with the ball now there to Chris Bibb. Well, no way there for Chris Bibb to move that time. Ian Smells just passing the ball on there. So Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox now there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning cutting back inside, but this time being wrapped up there by number 3, Tony Anderson. So it's Chris Burton. He'll try to dart up the halfway line, but Charlie McAllister there making the tackle. So Markin with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter looking for runners. That pass out there to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson there trying to go down Richard Irving, but that's good play that by Brendan Toter, giving his wingman a chance. So it's Terry Manning with the ball now. Terry Manning there. Too many people there in the way, but Chris Bibb there picking that loose ball up, and rightly so. He was in an onside position. So Markin with the ball now, they're back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox looking for this touchline side. That's a marvellous kick there by Derek Fox. There's no chance there for Richard Irving to recover, to get that ball back. Derek Fox there just floating that ball there over Richard Irving's head. First bounce straight into touch. So once again it'll be Mike Ford to feed the scrum. It's still out. Featherstone Rovers 4, Oldham 4. Referee there once again penalising Rovers for feet up at the scrum. So here we go. Duncan Platt there putting that ball this time into touch. So it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now. John Fieldhouse running it in, but Jeff Grayson there making the tackle. Plays the ball back. Andrew Wayne with the ball now there to Mike Ford. Mike Ford there trying to bring Austin Donegan onto the ball. Austin Donegan out of tackles. Big fella to stop Austin Donegan. Signed on from St Helens last season in the close season. So it's Brett Clark with the ball now there to John Cogger. John Cogger spins out to one tackle. John Cogger 10 yard inside. Rovers half of the field there. Gary Rose and Chris Burton making the tackle. So it's Mike Ford with the ball now. Mike Ford there, throw the gap. Mike Ford there taking one beat at Mike Ford, throw the gap. That's good running that by Mike Ford there to John Fieldhouse. But John Fieldhouse being wrapped up there by Terry Manning. Well, that's marvellous play, that. So it's Mike Ford with the ball there. Mike Ford, that little chip over. 25. And the players having to tell the referee that that was a direct kick, with the Featherstone Rovers player catching that ball as his own in-goal area. The players had to tell the referee there that it was a 25-yard tap, which the players were right. But I will say this for the referee, that much to think about today, that referee right on the spot there, Jim Smith, saw that the Featherstone Rovers player had caught the ball over his own line. So it's Featherstone Rovers in possession. That's a marvellous ball, that from Jeff Grayson there to Chris Byrne. Chris Byrne there to Ian Smells. Ian Smells dropping the ball. But marvellous passing movement that by Jeff Grayson and Chris Byrne. But Ian Smells there, that moment just falling down, him dropping the ball there on that final pass. So Oldham back in possession still. Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 4. Now it's Mike Ford to Brett Clark. Brett Clark there, back inside there to Charlie McAllister. Featherstone Rovers have got to watch these two halfbacks this afternoon, Mike Ford and Brett Clark. They're the organisers here in this game. Ooh, and that was a back pass to take. But surely that must come back. There's no advantage there. That must be a knock-on. Well, Featherstone Rovers did kick that ball through, but surely there were no advantage there. The referee there letting play go on. Penalising the Rovers player there for easing at the tackle, but Oldham lost the ball inside Featherstone Rovers half of the field, and Featherstone Rovers player kicked the ball on. The referee did play advantage, although there were no fully advantage there. Featherstone Rovers to regather that ball, and from the result in that, Featherstone Rovers got penalised for putting easing at the tackle. So it's Oldham now in possession. Oldham there, John Fieldhouse with the ball there now to Brett Clark. Brett Clark there to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister trying to run through. And Featherstone Rovers must watch this Charlie McAllister running out wide. So it's Brett Clark with the wide ball now there to John Fieldhouse. But John Fieldhouse being wrapped up down the middle of the pitch. Mark Gibbon there making the tackle. Now it's Mike Ford with the ball now there to Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan there again. That ball out there to Mike Ford. Mike Ford there taking tacklers on there. Getting that ball inside there to Duncan Platt. But Duncan Platt there being eventually tackled there by his opposite number there, Chris Bibb. Now Brett Clark with the ball there. Brett Clark kicking that ball forward, but that ball will beat everybody rolling dead. Oh, and nobody's touched the ball. And the ball just bouncing dead, but Richard Irving there, so near yet so far, trying to get his fingertips to that ball. If it had touched that ball, that would have been a try for Oldham. So it's Rovers with a tap out on their own 25-yard line. So it's Ian Smales with the ball. So it's Markin with the ball now there to Clarieti. Clarieti trying to bring the ball up to the halfway line. That's the second tackle. That's good running by the Rovers. Second roll forward, Clarieti. John Cogger making the tackle. Now it's Dirty Fox with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there tiptoeing inside his man. Well, John Fieldhouse there making the tackle. And Austin Donegan also involved with the tackle. Now it's Derek Fox once again now there to Gary Rose. Gary Rose there, tackle on the halfway line. That's the 4th tackle. So it's Mark Ginn with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox now there to Ian Smales. Ian Smales, that's well took that by Ian Smales. Ian Smales being tackled there just about on the halfway line. Andrew Ruane making the tackle. So once again, Derek Fox back with the ball here. Testing Richard Irving out on this side of the field. So Richard Irving there, slow to pick that ball up, but making sure. Trying to run it in. And Terry Manning there and Owen Simpson and Brendan Toto. And that's a knock on. Referee unsighted, but he finally hid the crown that time. Knock on is by Derek Fox to feed the scrum. Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 4. And before the John Henderson knocking that ball on. So there we are, the ball's in its hat to Derek Fox now there to Ian Smales. Ian Smales there to, now to Terry Manning back inside there to Chris Bibb. But Chris Bibb there coming to play. Ikram Butt it is. Ikram Butt out of tackles. What a player Ikram Butt is. They can't tackle him. So it's Terry Manning with the ball now there. It's back to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb saw that gap. Shot through it. But too many tackles. That's good tackling that there. Brett Clark. Now it's Clarietta with the ball. Clarietta there trying to bring his women into game. Clarietta still going. But finally Clarietta there being tackled. Oh, and that's touch judges on. John Cogger being called out. The Oldham substitute. So resulting in a penalty for Featherstone Rovers. So Derek Fox there, ball in his hands, taking that tap towards that touchline side. So Derek Fox with the ball now, this little run around now there to Martin Pearson coming for the ball. Martin Pearson shoots through the gap. Martin Pearson tackled 10 yards short of the Oldham try line and Oldham laying on at the tackle. So it's Mark Ginn with the ball now. Mark Ginn there to Gary Rose. He'll take it a couple of yards further towards that Oldham try line. So Mark Ginn with the ball now. Mark Ginn now to Chris Burton. That's good driving that by Chris Burton. Tackle 5 yards short. So Mark Ginn with the ball now. Mark Ginn now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson trying to open this Oldham defence up, but that's good tackling by Oldham. John Fieldhouse making the tackle. So Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there now to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there to Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter back inside. Back there to Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter going for the try line. Tackle inches short. That's marvellous play that by Featherstone Rovers. So Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox had a little dummy. Oh, did he make that look so easy? Derek Fox, the Rovers captain. And didn't they open up? Well, there was a big enough gap there to get the M5 motorway built on. And that's making allowances for the... But Derek Fox there, just dummying first to his right, then to his left. The gap just opened up and Derek Fox there, no problem at all, just putting that ball over that try line. Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 8, with this conversion by Martin Pearson to come. We're getting to that build-up, that were good driving in first by Clarietta, then by Gary Rose, then by Chris Burton. Jeff Grayson trying to get the ball away in the tackle. So here we go, Martin Pearson trying to line the ball up. Just missing the post, so it's Featherstone Rovers 8, Featherstone Rovers 8, Oldham 4. And then just getting up to that build-up for the try, the ball swung out, left Derek Fox there to Brendan Toter to Ikram Butt coming back inside, getting the ball back to Brendan Toter just tackled short of that try line, and from the resulting play the ball there, Derek Fox there, that unbelievable dummy there, and the Oldham defence just opened up for Derek Fox just to scoot over the try line. Marvellous try that by the Featherstone Rovers captain Derek Fox, so it's Mark giving the ball, Mark giving out to tackles, pushing men off. Being tackled just about on his own 25-yard line. So Derek Fox in possession now with the ball now. There to Brendan Toter getting the ball out wide. There to Ian Smales. Ian Smales now there to Clarietta. Oh, and it's all on. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, and that's good play that by Oldham. Getting back for that ball. So it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now in possession. That's good tackling that by Ikram Butt. Now it's Richard Irwin with the ball there, running it in, but Ikram once again making the tackle. So Andrew Wayne now from Acton Harpack. Andrew Wayne there trying to get that ball out there to Mike Ford there to John Cogger. John Cogger trying to run through the middle. But two Western Suburbs ex-players there. Brendan Tote to John Cogger there, tussling in the middle of the field. Now it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now. Again, that ball back there to Mike Ford. Mike Ford there trying to run out of danger. But Rovers really got the tackling machine together now. That's good tackling that by Jeff Grayson, wrapping them big arms around him. So it's Andrew Wayne there trying to look for that touchline side, and Chris Bibb coming across, getting down for that ball. That's good play by Chris Bibb, getting out of tackles. Chris Bibb there looking for the gap. Chris Bibb there on a flyer. Chris Bibb there taking this defence on. That's marvellous play by Chris Bibb. That's what Chris Bibb just needed, that little bit of confidence to get through tackles. So it's Smales with the ball now to Jeff Grayson, now to Dirty Fox there to Gary Rhodes there now to Clarieti to Terry Manning going over, Terry Manning, oh, he's still going, oh, he just couldn't get that ball over that line. And Terry Manning fighting there to get up to play that ball, and the Oldham player just wouldn't let him get up to play the ball. But Terry Manning there, that determined to get over that try line. He got Owen Simpson unmarked on his left-hand side, but Terry Manning didn't know that. All he could see was that Oldham try line. But get back to the play now. Clarieti, that first drive in. He's tackled 5 yards short. Charlie McAllister in the way. So it's Dirty Fox with the ball now there to back there to Dirty Fox there to Ian Smales there to Chris Bibb. Oh, Chris Bibb there. Tackle there by Tony Anderson. And that's a penalty kick to Featherstone Rovers, keeping Featherstone Rovers down in the tackle. Well, referee there having to pull that up because there's too many Oldham players in this match as the match is progressing. Lying on at the tackle. If that's Oldham's tactics today, I'm sure that the referee, Mr. Smith, here in the middle, will be watching this very closely. So here's a chance for Martin Pearson to get confidence at his goal-kicking duties this afternoon. First goal from 3 attempts, but I must say that the first two have been very difficult, but Martin there, no mistake with that. It's Oldham 4, Featherstone Rovers 10. Well, the strength there of Terry Manning was for all to see that time, bursting through tackles. That ball coming straight across that line there inside Featherstone Rovers half of the field. And Terry Manning there making nonsense of the Oldham would-be tacklers, and Ikram Budd there tapping the ball with his foot. Well, this time there, number 13, Russell there making the tackle. Now it's Clarieti's turn to try to bring the ball out of his own 25-yard area. But Austin Donegan there making the tackle, and Charlie McAllister. So it's Mark Gibbon there to Derek Fox. Oh, and Derek Fox there passing that ball, and well, the Rovers players were half asleep. Rovers players that time to me looked half asleep. Nothing wrong with the pass from Derek Fox. So it's Charlie McAllister with the ball there, getting that ball there to Brett Clark. But Chris Bibb read that rightly, getting across to make the tackle, and Brendan Tote. So Rovers really under pressure now. John Cogger with the ball now there, back inside there to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt being tackled 10 yards short of that Featherstone Rovers try line. Now it's John Cogger's turn to drive it in. This time Ian Smales makes the tackle just short of that Featherstone Rovers try line, and Mike Ford with the ball now. Mike Ford getting this ball out wide now to Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan there trying to run the ball in, but who's there to make the tackle? Derek Fox below and Mark Gibbon on top. So it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now there, back to Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan once again running it in. Well, that's good tackling by Rovers. Taps the ball to himself. Penalty kick to Featherstone Rovers. Austin Donegan had already got a marker, so the referee says. So that's a relief for Featherstone Rovers defence there, but they were tackling well in that situation. But that coming over. That's Derek Fox pass inside his own 25-yard line. The pass was perfect, but Arthur Over's play seemed to be asleep from that pass anyway. As it is, Gary Rose running that ball in tackle 10 yards short of the halfway line. Austin Donegan there making the tackle. Now it's Derek Fox to the ball now. Derek Fox there to Chris Burton. Well, Chris Burton there being upheld there by Charlie McAllister. Straight round the boat lasers though. Derek Fox to the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there to Brendan Tote to throw the gap. Brendan Tote looking for it. Brendan Tote taking Duncan Platt on. Brendan Tote having to come back inside. What a marvellous play. Now it's Owen Simpson there from acting half-back. Owen Simpson being wrapped up there by Duncan Platt. But that well-worked move that time. Jeff Grayson putting Brendan Tote to throw the gap. Now it's Terry Manning there. Has he scored the try? Has he got the ball down? No, he hasn't. Tackle inches short. So Derek Fox there, trying that little dummy again. But Derek Fox this time bundled into touch. And that was the sixth and last tackle, so... So John Fieldhouse trying to bring the ball away from Oldham. Still in the first quarter of this game, it's Featherstone Rovers leading by 10 points to 4. 2 points vital to both teams in this afternoon. So number 13 there, Richard Russell being caught in possession inside his own 25-yard area. Clariati there, and John Cogger's turn now to bring it away, but John Cogger there being met. Mark Gibbon and Brendan Tote making the tackle. So it's Mark Full with the ball now. They're back there to Charlie McAllister, that big boat downfield. And this time Chris Pipp takes that ball. First time, Chris Pipp throw the gap. Chris Pipp still going. That's good running by the Rovers fullback. So Jeff Grayson now to Derek Fox now to Gary Rose there now to Terry Manning looking for him, Terry Manning taking him on, Terry Manning still going, being tackled well inside that Oldham 25-yard area, and it's Ikram Butt now from acting half-back, waiting for Terry Manning to get up to play the ball, gets up, plays the ball to Derek Fox now to Ian Smales there, just couldn't get that ball out, but he did do eventually there to Derek Fox. And Andy Ruane there reading that movement well, making the tackle. So it's Mark Gibbon with the ball now. Mark Gibbon now there to Clariati. Clariati now there to Ikram Butt. It didn't Ikram Butt, it's Brendan Tote. Brendan Tote tackle just short of that Oldham 25-yard line. So it's Featherstone Rovers now. Jeff Grayson with the ball. Jeff Grayson back inside there to Chris Byrne. Chris Byrne, it's all on there now to Chris Byrne there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning flying for that corner. Oh, Simpson scores the perfect try in the corner. Oh, Owen Simpson, what a capture he's been from Keighley. £50,000 for a flying wingman like Owen Simpson. We've had him give, and that's all I can say, because the tries this man will score is phenomenal in this season, in this game of rugby league. But that try coming, a quick pair of hands, the ball went across that line. It was too quickly there. The passes was razor sharp. In fact, all them passes there went along that line like an electric shock. They were that quick, them passes. Number 3 there, Terry Manning there, that pass there to Owen Simpson. It was just like an electric shock. It went to him there like a bullet, but Owen Simpson took that ball, dived over the line there to register Featherstone Rovers' third try in this match. Featherstone Rovers 14, Oldham 4. With Martin Pearson's conversion here from the touchline. He's got the height. Has he got the direction? It's between the middle. Oh, what more can anybody want in this game of rugby league? Absolutely magic try and an absolutely magic goal there from Martin Pearson. Stanley Matthews, eat your heart out. Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 4. So Oldham getting this game started. Here we are, the man of the moment there, Martin Pearson, just kicked a touchline goal, tapping that ball well inside his own half of the field. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there trying to bring it to his own 25-yard line. Just couldn't make it. So it's Mark Gibbon with the ball now. Mark Gibbon decided to go on the blind hand side there, tackled on his own 25-yard line. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Gary Rose. Gary Rose there sees a gap in that Oldham defence. Gary Rose tackled So Jeff Grayson with the ball now. Jeff Grayson, that little dummy. Jeff Grayson's still under the ball now. There to Clarieti. Clarieti there must straighten up. Clarieti there trying to find the gaps in the defence. Gets up, plays the ball. Markin with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that little dummy, what you to gain? And that's marvellous play that by Derek Fox. And the ball rolling and rolling. And Duncan Platt there coming to regather that ball way inside his own 25-yard area. But that's good tackling that by Martin Pearson, the Rovers wingman. Following the ball up. Now it's Oldham, got it all to do now in this match. Rovers really come out this afternoon. Wanting to get these 2 points on the board this afternoon. So it's John Cogger. John Cogger going down the middle. That's good play that by John Cogger. Good backing up there by Mark Ford. But Mark Ford watched all the way by Clarieti. Making the tackle. Now it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now. John Fieldhouse trying to come down the middle. But he's just running into the Gary Rose as John Fieldhouse. Now it's Andrew Wayne with the ball there. Andrew Wayne, that little short kick there, that down that left-hand side of the field. But Chris Bibb getting back, takes that ball 10 yards there from his own try line. So Chris Bibb getting out to one tackle. But too many red and white shirts in the way that time. Andrew Wayne there, backing, following his own kick up, making the tackle. Now it's Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson trying to reach his own 25-yard line, but John Cocker there in the way, making the tackle. And also Richard Russell. So it's Chris Burton there, changing direction in midstream there. Chris Burton finally makes his own 25-yard line. That bit of press off that Featherstone Rovers line. But Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox now there to Brendan Toter. Marvellous pass from Brendan Toter there to Clarieti. But Clarieti there being nailed. So it's Ikram but there back there to the line. Ian Smells there, Chris Burton making show the tackle. Now it's Mike Ford with the ball there. Mike Ford there. Well, just a fault there in the camera there. We just didn't catch that on the video. There's too many players up on the people up here on the gantry, so we apologise for that. But just from that result, I just saw that with a naked eye. Ikram but there, flying to that try line there. He had got a man outside him once again, Owen Simpson. But Ikram thought he could reach the line himself. Tackle just short and reaching over. The referee, rightly so, penalising him for a double movement. So Featherstone Rovers really playing football in this first half. Could have had another 2 or 3 tries if they'd only just steadied things down that little bit. Brett Clark with the ball now there to John Cogger, but that's good tackling by Rovers. Ian Smells there making the tackle. So it's Oldham now in possession. Brett Clark with the ball now there to Brett Ford there to Mike Ford to Brett Clark. But no way for that run around this time. Mark Gibbon watching that like a naught, making the tackle. So it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now. John Fieldhouse now there to Charlie McAllister, but that's marvellous tackling that by Jeff Grayson, picking Charlie McAllister out. And Featherstone Rovers got penalised for that. Featherstone Rovers got penalised. Brendan Toter got penalised for that at Oldham last season, last week for not getting up off the floor to play that ball properly. And Charlie McAllister did just that there in that situation, not playing the ball properly on his hands, on his feet. So it's Gary Rose, that ball out there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning having to cut back inside. Terry Manning now. Terry Manning taking this defence on. So it's Owen Simpson with the ball now there to Gary Rose. Gary Rose driving it in. But no way through this Oldham defence. Andy Ruane making the tackle straight round the bootlaces. So it's Mark Gibbon now to Derek Fox there to Jeff Grayson. Back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there gliding through. Oh, and Duncan Platt just got hold of his ankles that time. So it's Brendan Toter now to Wayne Smells there. Oh, Jeff Grayson, what are you going to do with that ball and what are you going to do with it? But I've always said the golden rule is first catch the ball. So Oldham possession that time. Another let off for Oldham. Featherstone Rovers really trying to play 100 mile an hour football. So Richard Irving there losing the ball on the tackle. Referee saying that Ian Smells there penalising Ian Smells there. So Duncan Platt. Big boot towards this near touchline side. Richard Irving with the ball now there. Number 7, Mike Ford with the ball now. And Mike Ford now there to Andrew Wayne there to Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan there being tackled 5 yard inside that. Featherstone Rovers out for the field. So it's John Fieldhouse with the ball. John Fieldhouse, that's a marvellous pass here from John Fieldhouse there to Richard Russell there to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt there taking Chris Bobbin, and Chris Bibb there makes the perfect tackle. straight round the bootlace, and Nickham but also helping out. That was marvellous play that by Oldham. Good tackling by Chris Bibb. Andy Rain with the ball now there to John Cogger, but Terry Manning there wrapping John Cogger up. That's good play by Oldham, but also good defending by Rovers. Now it's Brett Clapp with the ball now. Brett Clapp there now to Duncan Platt. Oh, did he make that look so easy? Oh, Duncan Platt there running through the gap, and Brett Clark there, marvellous pass there by the Aussie standoff half there, and Duncan Platt there just glided through the gap there. Not a finger was laid on him to register Oldham's second try of the match. Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 8. So here we go, Duncan Platt trying to add to his own try, and there we go, straight between the middle, and Oldham now within a score of Featherstone Rovers 16 points. It's 16 to Rovers, 10 to Oldham, just on the half-time score. We'll go through the scorers. For Featherstone Rovers, Owen Simpson a try and Derek Fox a try, Martin Pearson 2 goals. Martin Pearson 3 goals, I should say. And for Oldham, it's Keith Atkinson a try. See you later on, yeah. Okay, yeah. All the best. Yeah, yeah, I will. If it's so. Okay, see you later. Yeah, okay, yeah. And getting back to the Oldham scorers, Keith Atkinson a try there, and Duncan Platt a try with Duncan Platt 2 conversion. So the half-time score here at Post Office Road is Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 10. Welcome back to Post Office Road for the Stones Bitters Rovers.
Gibbon.
I think Mark Gibbon might be coming off. Yeah. Yes, it is. Trevor Clark on for Mark Gibbon. So Featherstone Rovers getting this game started underway. So big Charlie McAllister with the ball there, and straight away Trevor Clark in with the tackling straight away in this second half of this game. It's still Featherstone Rovers half-time score, Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 10. Once again, Trevor Clark involved with the tackle. But I must say that Featherstone Rovers have really let Oldham off the hook in that first half. 3 or 4 scoring opportunities there, especially 1 or 2 Featherstone Rovers players. There's just passed that ball there to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson could have had another 3 tries in that first half. As it is, has he got 1 to his name already? And it's 16 points to 10, Featherstone Rovers in the lead. So Oldham there being caught there. Unawares that Steve Donegan there were getting the ball. So it's big Charlie McAllister there, that big kick downfield, and Chris Bibb there getting his body underneath the ball. That's good, take that back. Chris Bibb, Chris Bibb nearly through the gap. And Richard Russell there finally making the tackle, nearly choking him to death. Being tackled around his shirt collar that time. Pulled the collar of his shirt. Chris Bibb there. I'm sure he'll get up to play this ball okay, I'm sure.
Trevor Clark replacing Mark Gibbon.
And Trevor Clark there looking concerned, looking old Chris Bibb saying, come on Chris, play this ball, let's get going. Chris Bibb there playing the ball that back there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there now to Gary Rose. Gary Rose taking the tackles down the middle of the field. So Trevor Clark from acting half back now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there now to Chris Burton. And Chris Burton being fell there by John Fieldhouse. Oldham number 10. So Derek Fox with the ball now there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning there looking for runners outside him. Terry Manning still going. Bounces off 2 tackles. Still going Terry Manning. And Andy Rowan finally making the tackle. So Derek Fox with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson, that ball there to Ian Smails. Ian Smails once again dropping that ball. That move already worked in that first half with that Brendan Tota moment. And once again, Rovers pulled up at that scrum. Getting down too early in the pack, so another penalty to Oldham. So Duncan Platts finding touch there, just about on the halfway line. So Mike Ford with the ball now there to John Fieldhouse. John Fieldhouse there, tackle 5 yard inside, Rovers half of the field. Gladiated, Chris Burt making the tackle. Now it's Austin Donegan making the move, but Brendan Tota there wrapping his arms around him. And Gary Rose helping out, making sure the tackle. So Mike Ford with the ball there, doing the run out there now to Brett Clark. Brett Clark there now to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister there, and Ian Smails there trying to make the tackle. Can't run without the legs. Ian Smails found that out that time, trying to tackle him around the body, then going down to the legs. Oh, and that's a bad mistake by Oldham there. That awkward bouncing ball, losing about 20 hours with that moment. Rovers defence moving up very quickly indeed. Terry Manning finally making the tackle, and that big kick downfield, and Martin Pearson coming across for that ball, scoops it up inside his own 25 yard area. Martin Pearson out to 2 tackles. Martin Pearson being tackled just short of his own 25 yard line. Charlie McAllister making the tackle. Now it's Ian Smails. He'll try to bring it out of his own 25 yard line. Ian Smails out to 1 tackle, but too many red and white shirts that time in front of Ian Smails. Gets up, plays the ball. So Trevor Clark goes to acting half back. Trevor Clark now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson this time being down by Richard Russell. So Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox now there to Clarieti out of 1 tackle. Clarieti trying to bring the ball away. But once again, too many red and white shirts in the way this time for Clarieti. And Clarieti wanted to get up to play the ball, but the Oldham man wouldn't let him. So it's Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that big boot downfield. Oh, and that's good play that by Duncan Platt, the Oldham fullback, taking that ball on the full. And that's marvellous play also by Derek Fox, following his own kick up, making the tackle. Now it's Richard Irving coming in off his wing there, trying to help his forwards out, trying to come down the middle. But Jeff Grayson there making the tackle. So number 2 there, Steve Robinson. We haven't seen much of him in the first half. So Mike Ford with the ball there now to Austin Donegan. Austin Donegan losing that ball in the tackle. That's a knock on. And that knock on there coming with that Ian Smails tackle there. Ian Smails there really float the man there with the ball. And Austin Donegan there knocking the ball on. So it'll be a scrum down just about on the halfway line. Derek Fox to feed the scrum. It's still Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 10. The ball's in its Hearts Rovers. Derek Fox with the ball now there to Ian Smails. Ian Smails there through the gap. Oh! And Featherstone Rovers get possession. Ian Smails there dropping on that loose ball. Oldham player knocked it down, so that was back to 1. So it's Gary Rose with the ball there. Gary Rose fighting to get to his feet. John Cogger there and Richard Russell just making the tackle. Now it's Chris Burton, breaks 1 line of defence. That's good running that by Chris Burton. So Trevor Clark now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there looking for options. Just couldn't get that ball out wide that time because Mike Ford cut the ball off there from his 3/4. So it's Trevor Clark with the ball. Trevor Clark now there to Brendan Tota. Brendan Tota there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there to Brendan Tota. That's good running by Tota. Making the extra man, plays the ball back. Ikram Butt there now to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson there, but Martin Pearson, that kick there just going that a bit too heavy. Well, Jeff Grayson there really linking up well there. Brendan Tota making the overlap. Well, that kick there by Martin Pearson going too heavy there, going towards touching debt, so it'll be Oldham's possession now. John Cogger there trying to reach this halfway line. Ian Smells there making the tackle. Hessup plays the ball. So Oldham there really trying to throw this ball about in these first few minutes of this second half, really trying to penetrate this Rovers defence, and that's a lovely kick over that. And is the ball going to bounce nice? No, it isn't. Chris Bibb there diving on that loose ball, but that was on all the way. Number 6 there, Brett Clark, breathing down Chris Bibb's neck. So Derek Fox to the ball. Derek Fox sees the gap. Derek Fox through the gap. That's good running by Derek Fox. He saw that gap, but Austin Donegan there made the tackle, just grabbed on him at the last minute. Now it's Gary Rose. He'll run it in. Gary Rose tackled 10 yards inside this Oldham half of the field. Now it's Jeff Grace with the ball now. Jeff Grace changing direction. So it's Trevor Clark now. Trevor Clark with the ball. Trevor Clark now there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning spinning out to tackles. Terry Manning still going. Oh, and Bicker and Butt there wanted that ball off Terry Manning. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox, that little kick through, it's all on Earspales after that ball. Earspales scores the try, but referee's giving him offside. Well, I would like to see that on the video again. Was Ian Smells offside that time? I would love to see that on the video. It was touch and go, but the referee says he was offside, and he's the man what counts. So from that on, that's a bad mistake by Duncan Platt. Owen Simpson taking that penalty kick there, just inside his own half of the field. Owen Simpson running across field here, trying to create space, but Charlie McAllister there making the tackle there on Owen Simpson. Oh, Owen Simpson couldn't have picked a bigger man there to run into there than Charlie McAllister. Really got hurt with that tackle. A man-to-man tackle, but Owen Simpson there, I bet every bone in his body shook with that tackle there from Charlie McAllister. But getting back to that incident there with Derek Fox, that little kick through, he did look up, did Derek? Ian Smells, to me, did look onside. He had to run a fully 30 or 40 out to get that ball, but the referee there, I think it's because Ian Smells got to that ball so easily, beating the Oldham cover, that the referee did give him offside. But to me, it was touch and go. Well, like I said, there's only one man what counts, and the referee there, he's the man what counts. He gives the offside. So it's Brendan Tulter at the ball now. Brendan Tulter back inside there to Wicker. What a delightful pass from Brendan Tulter back inside to Martin Pearson. Oh, that pass there by Brendan Tulter, Wicker and Butt. What a delightful pass. And John Cogger this time penalised for not getting off Martin Pearson. And times we've said that during this match, Oldham really laying on at the tackle, trying to spoil things, trying to keep the game to their own tempo in this game. And that time there, Martin Pearson just getting ready to play the ball, and John Cogger there shoving him to the ground yet again. And this time Mr Smith, the referee, penalising John Cogger, allowing Martin Pearson another shot at goal. Martin Pearson already 2 goals to his credit. This goal here will just put a cushion from between Featherstone Rovers score and Oldham score. 6 points the difference at the moment. So here Martin knows how vital this goal is. He's just missed the post. So the score remains Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 10. So Oldham yet still need that try in that goal. So big Charlie McAllister there, that bolt downfield, and Chris Bibb taking that ball way inside his own 25 yard area, trying to come down the middle, trying to fight his way out of tackles. Once again, no way through this red and white army of defenders. So it's Jeff Grace with the ball now. Jeff Grace running it in. And Jeff Grace being tackled. So it's Brendan Tulter with the ball now. Brendan Tulter now looking for runners, getting that ball up now there for Ian Smells trying to get that ball out there to Martin Pearson. What clarity it was to Martin Pearson. Martin Pearson, that's good play. Martin Pearson now to Ian Smells. Ian Smells there to Derry Fox. Derry Fox, that's marvellous play. First by Clarieti, Martin Pearson, Ian Smells. That quick play of the ball now there to Terry Manning back inside there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there to Owen Simpson. It's all on. Oh, it must be offside. And referee says play on. Well, Oldham at 6s and 7s now. And the referee stopping the clock. Having words with Ickenham Butt. Penalty kick to Oldham. Duncan Platt there putting that ball high into touch. Tris Bibb just having a bit of physio on the field. But Oldham now really going all out for this equaliser, losing by 16 points to 10, the half-time score. So Brett Clark with the ball now, trying to get the ball out wide now to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister there being picked up there by Ian Smales. So it's Richard Russell now from acting half-back. Richard Russell there going solo, taking this defence on. Well, Richard Russell being tackled just short of that Rovers 25-yard line by Gary Rose. Now it's John Fieldhouse with the ball now. John Fieldhouse back inside there to John Cogger. Oldham making strides towards that Featherstone Rovers try line. John Cogger plays the ball to himself. Penalty kick to Oldham. John Cogger there taking the short top. The Rovers player pulling him back. And the Featherstone Rovers team there getting penalised. I just couldn't see who it was. John Cogger there, quick there that time to get up to play the ball to himself. Rightly so, he didn't have a marker. And the Featherstone Rovers player tackling him in an offside position. So a chance here for Duncan Platt to bring this Featherstone Rovers score nearer to Oldham's. Here we go, strikes the ball straight between the middle. Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 12. Yeah. So once again, Derek Fox kicking the ball, kicking the game on. Oh, and it's hit the post, it's all on. John Cogger there trying to get that for that ball. Ian Smales there making the tackle. Oh, and I'm sure John Cogger felt that tackle there off Ian Smales, same as Owen Simpson felt off Charlie McAllister. A one-to-one man tackle, but a fair tackle. Both accounts fair tackles, but it's the way the tackle was made. Ian Smales really getting his body behind the tackle, same as Charlie McAllister did there on Owen Simpson. Referee there wiping the clock clean. So Oldham's ball right inside their own 25-yard area. Featherstone Rovers still hanging on to the 16 points to 12 lead. Oh, Tony Anderson there gets up, plays the ball. So that's a nice little kick there, and holds back for that ball. Oh, too many cooks for the broth, as they say. Everybody going for that ball that time. Ickenham Buck and Derek Fox both jumping up for that kick throw that time. Everybody got that ball covered. Both jumping up for the ball there. Ickenham Buck and Derek Fox, and they're both getting each other's way. Now it's Steve Robinson with the ball. And Oldham really got the tails up now. Austin Donegan, Rovers not moving up to him, letting Oldham come on to him this time. So Andrew Wayne with the ball now. Oldham really to John Fieldhouse. John Fieldhouse getting out of tackles. Oh, John Fieldhouse going all the way. Oh, and that's a knock on. But referee sees an obstruction. Referee sees an obstruction. Oh, another chance here for Oldham to put another 2 points back to this Featherstone Rovers score. So it'll be Duncan Platt looking at the post, looking at the ball. Here he goes, strikes the ball once again straight between the middle. Featherstone Rovers 16, Oldham 14.
Price, replacing number 12, Larry Eating. Gary Price, replacing Chris Burton.
So there we are, Chris Burton going off the field and Gary Price coming on. So Derek Fox getting this game started yet again. Tony Anderson taking that ball. We're inside his own 25-yard area. He gets up, plays the ball. So it's Stevie Robinson there. Oldham really got the tails up. Them 2 penalty goals, putting them well within striking distance. Featherstone over score. 16 points to 14 now the score. Brendan Tota there making the tackle. So it's Andrew Wayne now getting that left bolt in action. That's a marvellous touch finder that by Andrew Wayne, pushing Featherstone Rovers back. It'll be a scrum down on this Featherstone Rovers 25-yard line with Derek Fox to feed the scrum. So the ball's inside Featherstone Rovers. Ian Smales to the ball now. Ian Smales here taking them on. Ian Smales there. That's good running by Ian Smales. Running straight through Brett Clark, his opposite number. And Richard Russell there, once again, Oldham there, laying on at the game, putting Featherstone Rovers off their game. So Derek Fox there, kicking the ball. That ball's got stuck on the gantry. So Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson running it in. 10 or 15 yard inside this Oldham half of the field. So Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that long ball out there now to Brendan Tota. Brendan Tota being watched all the way that time. Gets up, plays the ball. Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Gary Rose. Gary Rose there. Running the only way in, straight forward. Tackle just short of that Oldham 25 line. Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there. Ooh, and that was a charge down, but that's play on. That's back to 1. Nearly intersection that time, but so it's Terry Manning with the ball. Terry Manning sees the gap. Terry Manning through the gap. But John Cogger there makes the tackle, the vital tackle. Gets up, plays the ball. Trevor Clark now there to Clarieti. Clarieti there. Being tackled just about on that Oldham 25-yard line. 20 out from that Oldham try line. So it's Brendan Tota. Brendan Tota, that long ball out there to Ian Smales. Back inside there to Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson there. Still going. That's good football by Rovers. Gets up, plays the ball. Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there. Just couldn't get that ball out. Too many Oldham shirts in the way. And Oldham once again laying on at the tackle. Now it's Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark back inside there to Brendan Tota. Getting that ball back there to Terry Manning. Terry Manning there going for that try line. He scored the try. Terry Manning, how he whittled and jiddled and whittled his way over that line. It was just like a snake. Unbelievable there by Terry Manning. His upper body strength here, he just bounced off one player onto another until they bounced him over the try line. Another try to Featherstone Rovers, a try to Terry Manning. Featherstone Rovers 20 points, Oldham 14. So once again, Martin Pearson, pressure kick there. He's just about on that touchline side, taking his time. He's got the height, has he got the direction? Oh, sure has once again. Well, that's how Martin is. He misses ones next to the post. He'll have to kick the ones out on the touchline side, which he has done. Two goals from the touchline this afternoon, and that just puts that 8-point cushion between Featherstone Rovers and Oldham. Featherstone Rovers 22, Oldham 14. So there we go, Desfoy coming on for Oldham. I just can't see who's gone off, but back to the action. Clarieti brings the ball up to his own 25-yard line. So Martin Ford, it is who's gone off. So here we go, man of the moment there. Terry Manning there, bouncing off one player. And finally Terry Manning there slipping down. Gets up, plays the ball. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox out there now to Ian Smales. Ian Smales there after one tackle. And Ian Smales being tackled just short of his own 25-yard line. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Jeff Creation. Jeff Creation there. Trying to turn around in the tackle. Trying to release that ball there to Trevor Clark. But not this time, Jeff. Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that little kick over. It's all on. Ian Smales after that ball. Oh, and that's good play. That's by Richard Irving there, going for that ball bravely, 10 yards inside Oldham's half of the field. So it's Brett Clark with the ball now there to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt there coming down the middle, but Duncan Platt there being tackled just short of the halfway line. Quick to play the ball to John Cogger. John Cogger there trying to make strides, but that's good tackling that by Gary Rose below and Trevor Clark on top. Andrew Wayne now there to Brett Clark. Brett Clark there now to Desfoy. Desfoy there trying to get John Anderson on a run. But once again, good tackling by the Rovers defence. Covering up. So Brett Clark with the ball now there to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister there. Really going. Winning strong, but Clarieti finally making the tackle. So Brett Clark with the ball now there to John Fieldhouse. John Fieldhouse there running inside in there to Tony Anderson. But that's marvellous tackling that by Martin Pearson. And that should have been a penalty to Rovers, but Ikram Butt there getting that ball. Well, we all saw what happened there. That should have been a penalty first to Featherstone Rovers because Tony Anderson was clearly tackled in the tackle, released the ball after the tackle was made, and because Ikram Butt got the ball, it was a 6 tackle. Referee says play on. Ikram Butt was tackled with the ball, fighting to get up, and the touch come on saying that Ikram Butt landed out with his feet. Penalty kick to Oldham. So it's Austin Dunnigan with the ball now. Being tackled there by Derek Fox. Lifting him up and all at that. Austin Donegan, a big fella, but Derek Fox there getting his body underneath him. So it's Desfoy with the ball there. Desfoy there trying to make... Oh, that's a bad mistake. That pass there to Desfoy, from Desfoy there to Atkinson on the wing. And they made a right mess of that between them. As the results, Featherstone Rovers get possession there. Terry Manning diving on that loose ball. So Gary Rose tried to bring it down the middle. I'm sure another try for Featherstone Rovers at this time in the match will really kill Oldham off, leading by 8 points at the moment. So ball back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there just strutting and starting. Now it's Trevor Clark with the ball. Trevor Clark, that ball back there to Ian Smales. Ian Smales tries to put as much air between the ground and the ball there. That big bolt there by Ian Smales. Stephen Robinson picking that ball up. Oh, and he'd been wrapped up there by Clarieti. I bet he thought it was his bet time. Then Stephen Robinson when Clarieti made the tackle. Ikram Butt there making the tackle there on number 1 there, Duncan Platt. Now it's John Fieldhouse with the ball there, back inside there to Desfoy. This is better stuff by Oldham, but Featherstone Rovers get possession. Trevor Clark really getting that ball there in that tackle. Now it's Clarieti trying to bring that play up to that Oldham 25-yard line. Oh, and Oldham looked miles offside. That play the ball. Terry Manning with the ball. Oh, he just couldn't release that ball there to Derek Fox. So it's Derek Fox with the ball yet again. Derek Fox there to Jeff Grayson there to Ian Smales. Ian Smales there to number 4, Ikram Butt. Ikram Butt there just couldn't get that ball out there to Martin Pearson. Good play that by Jeff Grayson and Ian Smales and Ikram Butt. Now it's Ian Smales. Oh, that bland ball out there to Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter. Ball back there now to... This is good play, this. Gary Rose there just couldn't release the pass. Derek Fox with the ball now there. Derek Fox there now to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark getting that ball up. It's all on there to Brendan Toter. How do you get that ball out? Brendan Toter there. This is and that ball there like a red hot potato there across the line. But how did Brendan Toter get that ball out there out of the tackle there? Well, Featherstone Rovers could have had another try there. So near yet so far. Now it's Duncan Platt with the ball. This has got played this by Oldham. Now it's Desfoy opening them up. Oh, marvellous tackle that by Chris Bibb. What a tackle on Tony Anderson that by Chris Bibb. So it's Desfoy with the ball now, but once again, kicking the ball through, it's all on. What's happening here? Featherstone Rovers possession. Everybody seems to stand still there for a moment. Derek Fox there bringing that ball out in his own 25-yard area. Well, it's all actions here at Post Office Road. Trevor Clark there from acting half-back. Tackled 10 yards short of his own 25-yard line. So Brendan Toter, he'll try to drive it up to that 25-yard line, but he's tackled about 5 yards short. Now Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there, he's also tackled 5 yards short. So Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox trying to get that ball forward. It's all on. He wants a ball to ball. Oh, and the man who was hungry with the ball there. Terry Manning with the ball. Terry Manning going all the way. Well, wasn't he brave that time, Terry Manning? So Gary Price. Gary Price trying to get that ball up. It's all on now there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there to Brendan Toter. Trying to open this Oldham defence up. So Trevor Clark now from acting half-back. Trevor Clark there. Oh, and that was a forward pass to Clarieti. So referee spotting that forward pass that time. So it'll be a scrum down. So Brett Clark feeding the scrum. Getting that ball out there to Desfoy. The ball back inside there to Brett Clark, and Ian Smills making the tackle. It's still Featherstone Rovers 22, Oldham 14. So Charlie, oh, and that's a bad mistake. That's a knock on. It'll be Derek. Plenty of time. So it'll be Derek Fox to feed the scrum. Just short of that Oldham 25-yard line. The ball's in, it's back to Rovers. Derek Fox with the ball there, doing the cross movement there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there trying to come into play. And Chris Bibb there fighting to get to his feet, but the Oldham player won't let him, so it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox, that little dummy. Tackle just short of that Oldham 25-yard line. Now it's Brendan Toter with the ball now there to Gary Rose. Gary Rose there pushes one out of the way. That's good running that by Gary Rose. Oh, and that's two knock-ons. So the ball's in, it's out to Oldham. Brett Clark there being tackled by Derek Fox on the blind hand side of the pack. So plays the ball, trying to bring play up to this halfway line. Rovers still tackling well, still keeping them down, pinned down in their own half of the field. This is a good moment, this. Duncan Platt involved with the moment that time, but Ian Smells there followed him all the way across the park there, made the tackle. And John Cogger there knocking that ball on yet again. Well, I don't know what it's like out in the middle of the park, but when I'm stood up here in the Gant, it's absolutely freeze you to death.
Which this afternoon is sponsored by McMajor Cushion Floor Centre of Southgate Pontefract. Goes to number 3, Terry Manning.
So there we are, the man of the match, which today has been sponsored by McMajor. McMajor there, an ex-player himself. Give great service to Huddersfield in McMajor in his playing career on the wing. And he was a match ball sponsor, McMajor, and he has given the man of the match to Terry Manning. And Chris Burton there replacing Gary Rose. So it smells from that ball there from Derek Fox. It smells there, pushing the ball through there. Back there to Derek Fox. Ooh, Derek Fox there, yet so near, yet so far. So it's Featherston now, Terry Manning going for that try line yet again. Well, this time, not this time, Terry. They're waiting for you that time. Pushing Terry Manning 10 yards further back. Now it's Featherston Rovers still in possession now. Oh, that's a knock on. I think what it is this afternoon, Featherstone Rovers have been that eager to win this game. Leading still by 22 points to 14. Everybody eager for the match to be won. Brendan Toty there caught off sight from that scrum. You must keep your head down in the scrum till the ball's out. So Duncan Platts finds touch. About 15 yards from that halfway line. Oldham still trailing by 8 points. They still want 2 scores to get back into this game. So Chris Burton there making the tackle there on John Fieldhouse. Gets up, plays the ball. Now it's John Cogger's turn. He'll run it in for all it's worth. That's good running by John Cogger. But also good tackling that by Gary Price. Watch the man all the way. Now it's Brett Clark with the ball now again. Trying to get that ball out there to his 3/4 there. To Richard Irving. Richard Irving tackled just short of that Rovers 25-yard line. Gets up, plays the ball. Now Oldham's on the roll on Brett Clark with the ball now. Spinning that ball out wide now to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt there trying to go down here. Ismail. Duncan Platt there. Duncan Platt on the roller. Bit of that ball back inside there to Desfoy. But Chris Bibb there makes the tackle. Owen Simpson it was. Marvellous tackle that by Owen Simpson. Oh, and that's a bad mistake by Oldham. That's a knock on. But Duncan Platt there really opening this Featherstone Rovers defence up that time. But Oldham, like Featherstone, too eager there to take that ball.
Give us a penalty and get them bloody through.
Oh, Derek Fox getting the ball from the scrum. So it's Ikram Butt going solo from acting half-back there, pushing tacklers out of the way. That's a good little jinking run by Ikram Butt. So it's Martin Pace with the ball now there to Chris Burton. Chris Burton there being tackled just about on his own 25-yard line by Andrew Ruane there. So it's Trevor Clark with the ball now. Trevor Clark now there to Clarieti. Clarieti there looking for runners. But John Fieldhouse there making the tackle. Sorry, John Cogger it was. So it's Brendan Toty there changing direction. Brendan Toty there to Martin Pearson. Must kill the ball. Oh, and Martin Pearson just did that. And Brendan Toty there trying to get that ball out wide there to Martin Pearson. The ball's in its hat there to Brett Clark now to Desfoy there. That's a good play that by Desfoy there. Trying to bring Duncan Platt onto the ball. Duncan Platt there, but Chris Bibb there is opposite number making the tackle. So Oldham pressing hard on this Featherstone Rovers defence there. Desfoy making the moment there, but to Richard Russell coming back inside. But Rovers defence standing firm. Oldham really trying to push this stretch this Rovers defence. Oh, and that's a good ball, that to Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt there to Charlie McAllister, and that's good tackling that by Martin Pearson. Andy Ruane there from acting half-back. Andy Ruane there trying to line Brett Clark up. Brett Clark running across field, getting that ball out there. It's Oldham really trying to test this Rovers defence, but Rovers defence standing firm. This last few minutes of this game, it's still Rovers leading by 22 points to 14. So it's Oldham now, last tackle now, John Fieldhouse running it in, getting that ball there. This is good play by Oldham to Richard Russell, that kick on, it's all on Chris Bibb there getting back for that ball. And Chris Bibb there taking that ball and running in dead, which he couldn't tell, he couldn't stop himself, so it'll be a drop out from Rovers from underneath their own posts. Rovers 22, Oldham 14. 4 tries to 2. That's the 8 points difference, so Derek Fox there, that big boot downfield. And Duncan Platt, to me, the Oldham's man of the match in this game. He's had a blinder this afternoon for Oldham. Big lad takes some stopping, signed on from Widnes 2 seasons back. So Oldham really pushing this ball out wide. John Fieldhouse going for that try line. Back inside there, and Richard Russell scores the try between the posts. Marvellous try that to Oldham. Featherstone Rovers 22, Oldham 18. Well, this game's still alive yet. Duncan Platt knows how vital these seconds are. Straight between the middle. 2 points to Duncan Platt, 2 points to Oldham. Featherstone Rovers 22, Oldham 20. And what a grandstand finish we've got here at Post Office Road. Well, 2 points separating both the teams now. Derek Fox restarting the game. And Richard Russell taking that ball there just about on his own try line. It's up to Rovers to keep tackling. Second sticking away here. John Cogger with the ball. John Cogger fighting his way through tackles. That's a marvellous run that by John Cogger. And Oldham really got the tails up now. Brett Clark with the ball. Brett Clark spinning this ball out wide there to Charlie McAllister. Charlie McAllister there. That's good play that by Martin Pearson. And Oldham really swinging this ball out. Now it's Richard Russell. Oldham really throwing caution to the wind. Oh, and it's all on. That ball's going behind the player. Oh, it's a bad mistake. And Featherstone Rovers finally get possession there. Terry Manning diving on that loose ball. Now it's Owen Simpson. Owen Simpson will take it in. Owen Simpson there looking for the gaps on the line. Owen Simpson well tackled well inside that Oldham 25-yard area. Second sticking away here. Brendan Toter going from acting halfback. It isn't Brendan Toter, it's Ikram, but now it's Brendan Toter. Brendan Toter will take that ball in. Getting that ball up there for Derek Fox. Derek Fox pushes one man off. Still going, tackle 15 yards short. Now Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Brendan Toter there, trying to get that ball through, it's all on. But the ball going forward. So that'll be a scrum down. 5 yards short of that Oldham try line. It'll be Brett Clark to feed the scrum. The Oldham number 6. So the ball's in. Richard Russell taking that ball from the base of the pack. And there's still plenty of time yet for Oldham to snatch this victory out of Featherstone Rovers' grasp. Featherstone Rovers look to have this match won all the way, but Oldham, 4 marks to Oldham. They've really come back in this match, and Oldham did. Duncan Platt with the ball. Oh, what a marvellous tackle that was by Terry Manning. Really flung himself at the tackle that time, and Oldham still throwing this ball out wide. Oh, and they've got Oldham. Featherstone Rovers snatched here. Richard Irving with the ball. Tried to take Owen Simpson on. And a bad mistake there by Richard Irving, and Rovers got possession from that. So it's Terry Manning coming down the middle of the field. Terry Manning still going. So Ikram Butt now from acting halfback now there to Gary Price. Tackle about 20 yards short of the halfway line. Now it's Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Clary Eatey. All they've got to do is dive with this ball, pump it deep down into Oldham's half of the field. So Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox, that big kick downfield. That's a marvellous kick that by Derek Fox, finding touch. Wasting them few extra seconds. 1.5 minutes still left for play here at Post Office Road. 1.5 minutes between victory and defeat. Rovers still leading by 22 points to 20. And one might add, they've made a bit of hard work of this match this afternoon. Well, the better team all the way, but Oldham can snatch this like I've just said previously. Trying to throw this ball out on the own line. They must throw caution to the wind. Unbelievable scenes here at Post Office Road. Richard Irving, is he going to be the match winner for Oldham? Not this time. So near so far for Oldham. Oldham really throwing this ball about on this in their own 25-yard line. Oh, they must let that ball come out wide. They've got Featherstone stretched that time yet again, but Brendan Toter making the tackle. Now it's Charlie McAllister with the ball back inside. Oh, and that's good play that by Ian Smales there, wrapping himself round Duncan Platt that time, making the tackle. Now it's John Cogger there. John Cogger trying to run it in, and Ian Smales there, and Clary Eatey making the tackle. And this must be the final last tackle. Just looking at the timekeeper, just looking at the... So Brett Clark there trying to throw that ball out wide. Oh, and that's a bad mistake, and Terry Manning! Oh, the man of the match! And that's how much he likes. He just saw the interception, picked the ball up, and the Rovers man of the match, Terry Manning. Well, I don't like to see that happen, but I'm pleased he did it. He just shoved his fist to the crowd there, just as he was putting the ball over the try line. And that's the match winner to Terry Manning to Featherstone Rovers. Featherstone Rovers 26, Oldham 20, with this Martin Pearson conversion to come. And when he's kicked this goal, that'll be the end of the match. I'll just go through the try scorers. Martin Pearson a try, Terry Manning a try, Owen Simpson 2 tries and Derek Fox a try. Sorry, Terry Manning 2 tries, Owen Simpson a try and Derek Fox a try. And Martin Pearson 4 goals. In reply, Duncan Platt a try and 4 goals. Keith Atkinson a try and Richard Russell a try. The final score here from Post Office Road, Featherstone Rovers 26, Featherstone Rovers 28, Oldham 20.
John.